Coach forgot that there were players on those teams before he got there, and we're going to come to Coach Caldwell's back, one, because it's the truth, and two, because we have immense respect for Coach Caldwell. First of all, we were 11-5 in 2014 and a really good football team. 2015, we go 7-9. It's because we turned the football over, but the last 8 games, we were 7-1. So flipped our season around. The next 2 years, we're 9-7. And I believe in week 17, we were playing Green Bay in both years for a chance to win the division. Okay, so to come in and say that you had a lot of work to do is completely false. It's a bunch of trash because that wasn't the case in Detroit. We were a good football team. Matthew Stafford was playing as good as he has in his career. That was because of Coach Caldwell. And we were an organization that was ascending. He was building. And you know what, another thing, Z? Yeah. The culture was amazing. The culture was fantastic. So you had a winning record in 3 or 4 years. The culture was great. Your quarterback was playing really good football. So for him to come in and say that there was a lot of work to be done is a bunch of trash. Second of all, you know what Coach Caldwell wasn't? A finger pointer. Like, what coach comes in and says, oh, well, when I got here...
What did I say earlier?
Yeah.
I did this, Dan. I said...
Finger pointing.
I said the one thing I can sure tell you about that coach right there is he's doing this. He's looking straight ahead, but that left is going right, the right is going left. Finger point. All day long. And just finger pointing.
And it's wrong. It's false. And for him to go say that after being 10-25, to say that, to go, well, you know what? Before I got here, it was bad.
Wasn't me.
Here's the thing, Coach. No, it wasn't. We have eyewitness accounts of it not being bad. It was actually really good. It was a great place to be. It was a great place to work. We loved playing for Coach Caldwell, and we were a good football team. Were we great? No, and here's the thing. When he was hired, the comment was, we need to take the next step as an organization.
Trey loves this clip.
That was the comment from, I believe, ownership and their general manager, Bob Quinn, who I love and have respect for. We need to take the next step. It was built for growth, not regression, and they have regressed massively.
Well, shout out to Dan Orlovsky for starting our show this week.
Yeah, he basically did our entire show just now.
Yeah, thanks for listening to Aggressively Speaking. What episode is this, by the way? Is this 15?
I think so. 15.
We usually check before the show starts.
God, this show's off the rails.
All hell broke loose before the...
The hell was that?
You guys need to learn how to don't get affected by the sound.
It's hard not to, and that made no sense whatsoever.
First episode, you get an exception.
Okay.
Oh boy,
dude, I actually think it's funny. When, okay, so we got
all hell broke loose before the show started. We have a soundboard now.
Cheers.
Yeah, John has a soundboard. So we were toying around with that before the show started, but also John lost his charger, so I had to go get my computer charger.
Dude, I'm sorry, but no matter what week it is, I'm not gonna get used to that. It's gonna be amazing.
It's gonna get better.
Oh my god! So all hell broke loose before the show started, but nonetheless. Welcome everybody to episode 15 of Aggressively Speaking. My name's Tony Dabrowski.
I'm Troy Frank.
And welcome back to our podcast.
I'm done.
There you go. Okay. Dude, he was bouncing his knee waiting for it to happen during that Orlovsky clip.
I got the first 5 minutes, I go next.
He's just eventually just going to start spamming the...
Then for the last hour, I just sit on my phone.
You're just on FaceTime the rest of the way. But yeah, we had that Orlovsky clip to start the show, and
how are you, Troy?
Pretty good, other than this past weekend. I mean, come on now. I mean, come on. The Lions have done this to me now. My hair's all disheveled. I needed a hat today. I've gone unshaven. My face, my beard's reaching up to my eyes. It's bad.
The Lions have made Troy a pig.
Yes. I'm all sweaty. No, but seriously, they've gone off the rails. This is the end.
They've been off the rails, dude. But before we get into this episode, I told you I have a surprise for you.
Uh-oh. All right, what is this?
I brought I brought a special toy for the show this week.
Okay. I don't like where this is going. Oh, a pencil.
A number 2 pencil. Let me I hate that so much. I love it.
I love it, but it's so condescending.
All right.
How do I look?
Like you just went 10, 25, and 1.
Can you see it in the camera? I hope.
Yeah, I hope. I think so. Maybe.
Can you see my number 2 pencil?
I don't know. It's a pencil.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's there. It's there.
Yeah.
I got it
Adds
sticking
to your
there.
character more than it does to the show.
But
Do you like my object for today's show?
sure. So let's go with that. Let's go with sure.
It might fit you more than it does me because you got the
I got
Patricia.
the weight. I got the beard.
You said you have the weight?
Yeah.
Oh my god. All right, so everyone knows what we're talking about this week. Let's just get right into it.
Yeah. We had that Orlovsky clip. I mean, that Orlovsky clip.
Let's start with you.
It's damning.
It's
damning. Well, I mean, it's stuff we already know, but this is coming from the most unlikely source. Mr. Lions slap of ESPN himself, or NFL.com or wherever the hell he's at.
ESPN.
Is he on ESPN? Okay, just had to double check. Didn't want to be too wrong. But yeah, he's the Lions slap of the national media.
He used to play for him. I mean, can you call him a slap if you used to play for him?
I mean, I'm pretty sure he's like the godfather of Stafford's kids or something like that.
He's talked very highly of the Lions in the past.
Yeah.
But when he's needed to be critical of them, he has.
Okay, I'll give him credit for that.
This is one of the instances where he was absolutely very critical, and he should have been.
I mean, he was very critical of the coach. I didn't think he took enough steps to being critical of the GM and the owners, but that's neither here nor there. The main meat of the story. He still did
a fantastic job on TV today.
It was fantastic. That's why I played the whole 2-minute clip.
The whole clip.
I had to. It was so juicy, man. It was like biting into
You were salivating before the show started.
It was like biting into a medium cooked steak, man. Nothing.
I thought you was about to play something.
He hadn't. But
now
I'm setting him up and he's just fucking bricking.
All right.
We're gonna have way too much fun with that soundboard. So let's start with you this week, actually, because the audience, they mostly know my they mostly know my thoughts. But I will say this, though, very quickly. We're recording this on Monday night, obviously. This will be out either Tuesday or Wednesday, but we're recording on Monday night. Bill O'Brien was just fired a few hours ago.
Oh.
You didn't know that?
No, this is breaking news to me.
Oh.
I've been off of Twitter for the past couple hours because I've been busy. But
yeah, Bill O'Brien got fired today. So I tweeted after he got fired. There are literally no excuses why the Lions should not fire Bob Quinn and Matt Patricia right now. It's too early to fire your coach and GM. Oh, is it? The Houston Texans just did it.
Oh, the Houston Texans are 0-4.
Yeah, 1-3 is a big difference.
Yeah, I know. I'm just like saying they are worse, technically speaking, so.
They are in a very bad situation, but so are we. At least we have a first-round draft pick next year.
That's fantastic. As somebody that's a big fan of Deshaun Watson and feels like that team is killing his season right now, I am so happy for them. I'm so elated.
We love you, Deshaun.
Yeah, I love Deshaun. Dude, you weren't even looking that time. That's how.
I know what I'm doing.
He's a professional. Come on.
Okay, cut it.
So, yeah, there should be no reason why Bob Quinn and Matt Patricia are on fire right now. I mean, there's absolutely nothing different in this football team. Despite what the national media and people on Twitter said throughout the offseason, nothing's different. If anything was
different. It's worse.
if anything was really different for this football team, they probably would have won yesterday. Not probably, they would have won.
They would have won. That Saints team had no business winning that game at all.
They came into that game missing 6 starters, 3 on offense and 3 on defense.
Might as well be 7. They're missing Drew Brees. They've been missing him all season.
I was getting to him in a minute, 6 missing starters: Michael Thomas, Jared Cook, Andrews Pete, Lattimore, Janoris Jenkins, and Marcus Davenport. 6 really good starters for that team.
Half the team, basically. Half the good players on the team.
Drew Brees is a dinosaur. He's not. He literally can't throw deep anymore, Troy. Even with Michael Thomas in week 1 before he got hurt, he can't throw deep downfield anymore. He's old. And the Saints also came into Sunday's game extremely tired because the night before they actually had the false positive scare. So, on NBC's pregame show before Sunday Night Football, one of the guys mentioned how, the guys weren't able to sleep because, they took the test and they didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
So they were injured. Drew Brees is old. And they were tired going into that game. Meanwhile, the Lions were the healthiest they've ever been under Patricia, and they blow a 14-0 lead at home. Another double-digit lead blown. The Saints score 35 unanswered, and I don't care about that comeback at the end. That was a complete train wreck.
Those are garbage time points through and through. There was no chance of that even being close to it being a win,
Troy,
regardless of how close they got.
In all my years of watching the NFL, I haven't seen quite a team collapse like this Lions team collapses. They collapse all across the board. The offense, the defense, the coaching, it all goes to hell. The offense was a train wreck yesterday. The defense, obviously, is what it is. And then the coaching, I mean, we talk about Patricia each week. Can we talk about Darrell Bevell? Why are we establishing the run when it's 35-14? Why is Adrian Peterson our number 1 running back?
You got to catch them off balance.
Oh,
if they think you're going to pass and they know you're going to pass, then you can't pass.
The game plan against this Saints team, who is a really good run defense, and they're missing their top 2 corners, and they can't defend against tight ends. You decide, hey, let's try to run the football down the throat. How is that the game plan going?
Why don't you just, punt on first down? You might as well.
Speaking of punting, when the Saints had their first punt yesterday in the 4th quarter? Dude, Troy, when they scored 35 unanswered, it was all touchdowns, obviously.
It's like watching a game of Madden.
They couldn't keep the Saints out of the end zone. It was absolutely insane.
It was arcade football through and through yesterday.
Drew Brees is a dinosaur, but that dinosaur lit him up yesterday. Oh. Made Drew Brees look like he was 30 again.
Yeah. This is Super Bowl 44 Drew Brees all of a sudden again.
The Saints offense yesterday, Trey, was literally Drew Brees, Alvin Kamara, Latavius Murray, Emmanuel Sanders, and Traquan Smith. That was their offense. And they could have easily dropped over 40 if they didn't take the foot off the gas in the 4th quarter, which the Saints knew they could take their foot off the gas in the 4th quarter. They knew the Lions were never coming back to win that game.
No, it's I have no words. That was one of the worst Lions games I've ever even partially sat through. Because I called it after the 5 straight touchdowns. I mean, even for having being on a sports podcast as a co-host, I couldn't muster watching the comeback happen.
The comeback, yeah, the comeback.
After the 5 straight touchdowns, I was like, all right, I've seen all I need to see.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that game was over. You didn't need to see the comeback to know that they were going to lose that game.
Yeah,
like I said, the Saints literally took the foot off the gas, knowing that they can still win this football game. That's exactly what they did. Don't honk your horn at me and give me this whole comeback spiel. Oh, thank you.
That's Lions Twitter. That's Tony.
I don't think so, Troy. Have you seen Lions Twitter?
No,
they're angry,
yeah,
bro.
They're pretty pissed.
They're angry, man.
99% of Lions Twitter. There's that 1% that says this team's
I did see a tweet today where someone said that the Lions started 1-3 in 2016 and still made the playoffs.
There you go. That sounds like Tony from last week talking about this team has a chance.
No. That is not at all how the conversation went. Remember our conversation last week?
Let's not go into it. It was a joke. I know what you mean.
Remember, but remember what I said last week when I said we'll revisit this topic this week? Nothing's changed, bro. Nothing has changed.
No, nothing. This team is still just as bad and just as sorry as they've ever been. And end of episode.
0 viewers.
End of podcast. We lost all of membership.
Why did I buy this thing?
We're canceled.
Yeah, I'm done watching this podcast.
No, not that kind of cancel.
Okay.
Well, let's get back on track here. But I want to bring up the Dan Orlovsky clip again, though, because the conversation online, Twitter right now is mainly Jim Caldwell. Because
surprisingly,
well,
this is 3 years after the man's been fired, and he's still one of the top names being brought up.
Well, he was fired because 9-7 wasn't good enough, if you recall.
Yeah,
which 9-7 wasn't good enough. We both wanted Jim Caldwell fired.
Yeah, the team was trending upwards. That's where it was supposed to go.
Troy, remember when we were looking for a head coach and eventually hired Patricia? We were one of, if not the best jobs in the market.
We were the best job. It was the Lions and the Giants that had the two best jobs, available.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we were better than the Giants.
And we were a better team than the Giants. So of course we had the best opportunity out there for a head coach.
We had a franchise quarterback in his prime. We had playmakers on offense, playmakers on defense, and established culture, as Dan Orlovsky brought up. We were in the right direction as a franchise. We were looking for a guy to take us from being that 9-win team to being a Super Bowl contender, consistent contender, compete for the division, compete for playoff wins.
Yeah, there was a good analogy that I heard on the radio of they had to fire Rick Carlisle in order to hire that Larry Brown. Mm-hmm. And instead of hiring Larry Brown, they hired Brett Brown.
No, Igor. Remember the Suns the Suns coach, I think, before Monty? Igor guy?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
They hired Igor. I think his name is Igor.
Whoever was coaching that 9-63 Charlotte Hornets team, or Charlotte Bobcats team.
Dear God. But no, Troy, Patricia's come here and just taken this team completely backwards, man. I mean, this team is a complete train wreck right now.
Yeah. I mean, are we seeing Matt Millen 2.0 in your eyes?
This might be worse.
Worse than Matt Millen.
Dude, we're in a bad spot right now. We're old and terrible.
Yeah.
That made John giggle.
Imagine just being old and terrible. What a disgraceful human being.
Oh my God.
That was perfect.
Honestly, though, all jokes aside, this team is getting a lot older, and they stink.
Yeah.
It's funny, Troy. It's almost like signing Patriot castoffs really doesn't work.
Yeah, it's almost like we built an entire roster of Patriots practice squad. We just took their practice squad and said, this is a good team.
They completely ignored the narrative of how Patriot players leave the system. They just completely suck.
Yeah.
Outside of Trey Flowers last year, that's what's happened. This year, Trey Flowers has taken a step back, in my opinion, throughout the first 4 games. Danny Shelton.
Jamie Collins
was headbutting officials week 1. Jerron Harmon, outside of the Arizona games, kind of struggled, in my opinion. I mean,
Amendola.
Yeah,
what is he?
I thought he was good last year, but
he was last year. But this year he's taking a step back.
He's not done it. He hasn't
just like
done
everybody
anything.
else.
Yeah, I mean, for the people that want to keep Quinn but fire Patricia, whose roster is this?
Yeah,
man, this roster. Bob Quinn. This is what his 5th year.
2016 was his initial year. So
16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 5 years. Dude, this team has just gotten worse and worse and worse. Whether it's been on the field or off the field moves, like it's just been a train wreck. And I'm not upset, Troy, that they lost that game on Sunday.
You're just disappointed.
No, what I'm upset about is that we're here. This is why we didn't want them back, man. Because if the Lions in the perfect world fired and clean house last offseason, they got a new GM and a new coach in here. They took Tua or Herbert, whoever they preferred, at number 3. We would have been in such a better position right now. But instead, we went through an offseason in which they spent more money getting Patriot guys in here. Another draft class that I like Okudah and Swift, but outside of them...
Okudah's giving you no reason to, by the way.
From a talent standpoint, I like Okudah. But yeah, he has struggled outside of the Arizona game. Kind of, you know. I still like DeAndre Swift a lot, but, you know, outside of him and Jonah Jackson, too, who's been good for us. I mean, dude, like Bob Quinn ain't good. He's not good, man.
No.
Like, I thought about this the other day, Troy. Bob Quinn has had some very nice hits. You know, Kenny Galladay, Frank Ragnow, Tracy Walker. Like, those have been
Jamal
good.
Agnew. If you want to count that. He's been hit and miss, but I mean, if you're really reaching for hits, you got to put him in.
Swinging for the fences on that one.
That's perfect.
You're swinging for the fences on Agnew. I won't put him on that list. You will. But
he's good for what he is, I guess.
He was, I don't know. He almost got cut last year for a reason, but that's neither here or there. He's had some very good hits, but at the same time, he's had some really bad misses.
Dude, he has struck out on every linebacker he's ever even glanced at.
I was going to bring up the linebackers. Jared Davis, he's not starting anymore, I don't think. Jelani Tavai, do you want to talk about how bad he is?
Dude, he's so bad that I thought he was a ghost. I thought he had passed.
I think it's fair to now put Kerryon Johnson in the second round Bob Quinn draft pick category.
Swift is already dangling off a cliff there. Even though everybody likes him, he ain't getting played.
Yeah, he's getting, Adrian Peterson's getting more carries for some reason.
Yeah, it's like a Jesse James situation. You brought him in for a reason. Now play him. Like, what the hell?
Well, speaking of tight ends, Hawk, I still think really highly of him, but yesterday they didn't use him that much. Like, they gave him a garbage time touchdown. That's cool, but last year too, especially, they took Hawk at number 8. They signed Jesse James. They didn't use the tight ends. And this year, I still don't think you're using Hawk as much as you should.
Yeah, if you were to put all of their offensive weapons down on paper, you'd be like, is this team scoring like 30 a game? Like what?
They did last year.
Yeah.
But now, not this year.
No.
The offense has taken a dramatic step back this year.
Do you think it has anything to do with the offensive line?
The offensive line hasn't really been the issue. I think it's...
And how,
there's a lot of issues with that offense. But we'll talk about Stafford in a minute here. You got to put some blame on Stafford. You got to put some blame on Darrell Bevell. It's just a train wreck. Game planning standpoint, what Stafford's doing on the field, it's a complete train wreck. But that's a topic for in a few minutes. Going back to Bob Quinn's draft picks. You want to talk about how good Will Harris is?
Yeah, let's talk about it. Discussion ended.
We could go on and on and on here, Troy. Bob Quinn's hits have been really good. His misses have been really bad, and he has had way too many more misses than hits, and that's his issue.
Swing and a miss.
That's Bob Quinn every round of the draft.
There you go. You do not fire Patricia and keep Quinn.
No.
They both go.
It's impossible.
They both go.
Yeah, there's no divorce to be had here.
They go together like chips and salsa. You don't throw out the salsa and then bring in some guacamole. No, just get it out.
Chips and salsa is good though. You can't. I don't even think you can make that comparison.
No, these are like moldy, gross chips.
It's like the corner of a basement and black mold. They go together like.
John is disgusted by that. It's bad chips and salsa, and you gotta throw it out, man.
You gotta throw it out.
Like the
tomatoes have solidified.
The Texans threw out their nasty chips today.
Yeah,
I mean, there's no excuse why they shouldn't throw their food out today.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I mean, and you want to talk about problems with the offense? I mean, Matthew Stafford is ranked. What is it? Bottom 5 in Pro Football Focus in quarterbacks.
I don't pay attention to Pro Football Focus. I don't know. I really don't care.
It's notable though. It's notable to bring that up. He's ranked bottom 5.
I mean,
the top 32 quarterbacks.
I just brought this up a few minutes ago, so let's talk about Stafford. You know, I'm a big Stafford defender, but if I sat here and said that Stafford is not part of the problem, you would have full permission to, give me a little flick, like Tony.
Flick on the nose.
Stop it. Bad.
And spray it with some water.
Stop it.
Oh, yeah.
Like, no, Stafford is not the problem with this football team.
He is a problem.
He is absolutely part of the problem.
Yeah.
He has not been good this year. I mean,
people were giving him like slack on during the first 3 games, and it's like even then, the rest of the team is underperforming. You can't just clean slate your way through these games. He was just like passing with like a C+ in the first few games of the season, and then the last 2 games, he's just been like absent to an extent.
No, the first 3 games, we've mentioned how he needs to play absolutely perfect for them to have a chance, and that can't be the case at all.
But I mean, in order to win, he does, and I mean, him playing C+ to like B- quarterback, it ain't helping.
Well, you can, but that's my problem with this regime and this whole organization. Like, when they eventually probably move off of Stafford this offseason, like we're going to win.
You really think that?
I don't think he makes it.
You don't think this franchise is too in love and have sunk too much money into Stafford to move on?
This is pure speculation on my part. I don't know if he plays next year.
You think he's going to retire?
I think there's a chance. This is pure speculation on my part. I mean, his post-game press conference yesterday, he looked tired, man.
Yeah,
he looked really tired.
Combined with like, what was it the other week where he just goes, yep. Or something along those lines where he just gave like 2-word answers.
He looks tired.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I would not be surprised if we got that bomb that he's walking away. But that's just speculation on my part. Anywho,
he hasn't. He's
the fact that Stafford needs to play perfect for us to have a chance. It just goes to show you how incompetent the rest of the organization is.
But it doesn't help when he plays even less than great.
I know, but you still
and we're not putting the blame on him by any means.
I know you're not.
But
But you see my argument though.
Oh, of course. But it's like he needs to play
better. No, he needs to play better.
Regardless.
Like yesterday was one of the worst games he's had in a Lions uniform.
Yeah,
straight up. He needs to play better. He's terrible.
In his rookie season, he had 20 picks.
He was terrible on Sunday, and no one's arguing that. And he does need to play better if they want to have a chance to win. But at the same time, so does the defense. So does Patricia. He needs to coach better. He says that every week after they lose. I got to coach better. Darrell Bevell needs to figure out what the heck happened to him and have a better game plan because he's been terrible this season, all 4 games.
Yeah, I put this much stress onto Stafford because he's one of the 5 most important guys on the entire Lions franchise. You got owner, GM, coach, assistant coach, quarterback. He's top 5. And if he's not, playing excellent, then you got to put that stress on him. You got to always hold his ass to the fire.
Well, this team's a mess, man. Top to bottom, this franchise is a disaster, man. Like, ownership really said, yeah, let's bring him back for another season.
And of course, John walks away when I'm about to ask for a drop.
Well, he's right there.
John, give me your most disgruntled, angry drop that you got. There you go. There we go.
My eyes got big for a second there.
So this team needs to be like burned to the ground.
They need a fresh That's the Lions.
That was the sound coming out of my TV speakers yesterday.
Ugh. Like, this team needs a fresh restart, man. Like, I know, another Detroit team's got to rebuild. No, this team's got to blow it up. Like, honestly, I mean, we said it after last year, but, I think more people are starting to come to this side of the fan base.
Oh, they'll fire everybody, but they're gonna re-sign all the players.
What? Who?
Every single expiring contract they got this year, like a Kenny Golladay and all these other guys.
Well, that's someone that you have to bring back, though.
You think so?
Kenny Golladay? That's a top 15 receiver in football.
If you're gonna blow up the entire roster, you're gonna keep on a wide receiver.
You got to keep your young players, yeah. Okay. You got to have some pieces to build around. I'm not saying do a Miami Dolphins and just trade everybody.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
There are still some pieces you can work with here. You have Kenny, you have Frank, you have Tracy Walker, you have Okudah. Like, there are some pieces you can build around with, but they got to get the three most important things right this offseason if and when they blow it up. GM, coach, quarterback.
True.
I like that.
GM, coach, quarterback. They got to get that right. And
you got to knock it out of the park to be right on all three. They gotta absolutely nail it.
Well, when you do nail it, you can flip just like that.
You got a 10-year franchise right there.
Case in point, the Cleveland Brownies. Did you see that game yesterday in Dallas?
Dude, OBJ looking like 2015 OBJ all of a sudden.
That offense is rolling with Kevin Stefanski, man. That's not the same old Brownies, man. They went into Dallas and nearly dropped 50 on the Cowboys.
And then they lost Nick Chubb.
He's on your team.
That killed me. That killed me so much. He had just had like 2 straight 20 points weeks, and then breaks everything.
Off topic though.
Here we go.
Troy decided to talk that shit in our fantasy league after I lost. Guess who whooped his ass this week in fantasy?
Off week. I'll just spew the same bullshit. I'll just spew the same bullshit excuses Tony was giving me last week when he dropped 40 points in a freaking fantasy league where you're supposed to score 100.
Okay, let's not talk about the fact that our rosters are screwed up. You have one running back in our league.
One.
So you gotta score more than 45 points, Tony.
Okay, I'm 3-1 right now. One
so
of those
am I.
wins is against you.
So am I.
Who's your one loss against?
Who's your one loss against?
Chris.
Yeah, and he scored 70 points all season long.
Yeah, I told you I had a bad week. I was going to bounce back.
So did I.
Oh my gosh.
Watch your mouth next time you talk that ish.
Okay.
Watch who you're messing
Tony.
with.
Okay.
All right.
How much success has that fantasy league gotten you, Tony?
Talk to my rings.
What rings?
My fantasy rings.
Okay.
Talk to my trophies. Talk to my pencil.
All right. Yeah, exactly. All right.
So back to the Lions, though. I mean, yeah, when people say we can't do this hire, fire, rehire thing, you can if you can't get it right. That's what the Lions have done. Like, when we fired Jim Caldwell, which was the right call, we hired Patricia to be the guy to take us to the next level. And not only has he not done that, but we are now back to where we were before we even got Caldwell. Like, this team is in...
This team's back to 2008. Because if you remember in 2008, they had to get a quarterback, get a coach, get a GM. Then they're right back to the same spot. And
yeah, I think more people have kind of accepted that fact too. Like even Stafford defenders like me are like, it's time to move on. It might not necessarily be all his fault, but it's time to move on.
Yeah.
What do you mean, thank God?
No, thank God, because everybody is all like, oh, we got to keep Stafford. He's the only good thing about this team. He's the only, good leader in this group. It's like, no, you don't realize we can't rebuild around a 33-year-old quarterback.
No,
it's just not possible.
No, you can't.
The only team that could do that is the Patriots, and they still go like 12-4 every year despite that.
Well, they have Bill Belichick.
Yeah. Yeah. They can work around that. They're the only team in the league that can. Mm-hmm. You can't do it otherwise. It's impossible.
You can't bring the Patriot way into your team. It showed you that.
It's just it makes me sick to my stomach.
Again, I'm not upset that they lost on Sunday. I'm just upset that we're here. Like, imagine how different things would be right now if we fired everybody in the offseason. We got a new GM, a new head coach in here, and we had a rookie quarterback to play with. Like, sure, we might be bad this year, but we'd be fun at least, probably. Now we're probably going to have to find new franchise leaders via Zoom because we're in a pandemic. Like,
instead of looking like the Pistons, or instead of looking like the Tigers, that we're looking like the Pistons.
Do you think the Pistons are in a worse spot than the Lions? I don't think so.
No. I'm saying instead of trending upwards, we're trending downwards.
Oh, no. The Lions are the bottom of the barrel in the city.
Yeah.
It goes Wings, Tigers, Pistons, Lions, in my opinion.
Tigers, Pistons.
I think the Tigers are better.
Yeah, but in the NBA, you can flip it around quicker than you can in baseball.
But the Tigers have their pieces. Pistons don't really have any pieces right now.
Oh, I thought you liked Sekou.
He's got to show me. I told you that. What are you talking about?
Oh, I thought Sekou was the boy.
What are you talking about, Troy?
No, I know. I'm just playing.
Troy,
I'm speaking through you to Twitter.
Speak to them when you do that. I'm not Twitter.
You are Detroit Twitter mascot though.
Mascot?
You are the mascot. You are the logo.
I'm Hooper.
You're Hooper. You're the logo.
I'm the
You're
logo.
the logo on the center court, man.
I'm the logo of Detroit sports Twitter.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's high praise.
It's high praise from Troy.
Yeah. So I mean, when you're talking at the team, you're talking to the logo. And when I'm talking about Detroit sports Twitter, I'm talking to the logo. I got him sitting right next to me.
I guess. But I don't know, man. I mean, again, I'm angry that we're here with this team.
Oh, I'm losing my sanity here, man, talking about it.
You look terrible.
I forget if there's like a clip out there that we can have for the soundboard that's like, you look awful.
Yeah, speaking of the soundboard, though, next week we're going to have a lot of fun with that.
We're going to have a lot of customized ones.
Yeah, we're going to have our own sound clips that John's just going to spam.
Awesome.
It's going to be a clown show.
Oh, brother.
Oh, my God.
Is there anything quick you wanted to talk about? You wanted to touch on the NBA Finals or something? Or
I mean, we could very quickly, but we also do have to consider that whenever this goes up, Game 4 could be played. It could not be played yet.
What the hell is that supposed to mean?
If this comes out on Wednesday, Game 4 will be over, and what we're saying right now is kind of irrelevant.
Oh, I gotcha. Well, I guess you can roast us for whatever takes we have on this game coming up, if you want. So,
Lakers in 5.
Lakers in 5?
That was my original prediction. That's what I'm sticking with.
Yeah, I have no qualms with that, for sure. I think Tyler Hero and Jimmy Butler might have overdone it a bit.
They're in trouble. Tyler Hero meme mugging.
AD did kind of look like he was on an island out there the other day, literally.
You know, throughout the first 2 games, AD was eating. He was eating. And Game 3, the Heat did a good job defensively to take him out of the game. They got him in foul trouble early. They kind of kept him quiet throughout the rest of the way when he was on the court.
People have been saying this whole series that, the Heat need to utilize Bam big time.
Well, he's been hurt.
Yeah.
That doesn't help. He might be back for Game 4.
Yeah.
But it didn't help that he got hurt. But the Heat, even without Bam and Goran Dragic, they've battled in Games 2 and 3. And you got to give them a lot of credit for that, because when they went down, everybody was like, they're going to sweep them. But they fought in Game 2. And if they had Bam in Game 2, they might have won that game, honestly.
Yeah.
I thought the Heat played better than the Lakers in Game 2.
I mean, if they get him back, and they kind of unlock the key of getting, AD under control, and now they got Bam coming back, that's going to be scary.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, the Lakers, I'm still saying in 5-2, but that's
a must-win game.
Yeah, we're tiptoeing around this one.
If Game 4 hasn't been played yet, I think it's a must-win game for the Lakers.
Oh, 100%.
If the Heat tie the series at 2 with Bam back or not, all momentum's going to be in their favor.
Yeah.
And we've seen what this Heat team can do when they have momentum behind them. We've seen that in the bubble. So,
okay. Did you get a chance to look at NHL mock drafts yet?
I have my guys already.
Yeah.
We also need to be careful talking about the NHL drafts because, again, this may or may not be out Tuesday or Wednesday. The draft is Tuesday night.
Well, give me your predictions. Top 5.
I don't care about the rest of the league.
Okay, give me your predictions for the Red Wings. Who do you think they want, and who do you think they're going to take? Like, who do you think is going to be available for them?
I just said I don't care about the rest of the league, but assuming that the top 3 in some order is Lafreniere, Quinn Byfield, Tim Stützle. My 3 guys are Lucas Raymond, Marco Rossi, and Cole Perfetti.
Okay.
I'm not going to predict what Steve Yzerman does. Like, last year, nobody predicted Mo Seider at number 6 or 7, wherever the Wings took him. Like, Mo Seider, many consider to be like a late first-round player. And
they just went out on a whim.
We took him at 6, and people were like, that was the first big shock of the draft. And we were all like, including me, I was like, who the hell is Mo Seider? Mo Seider, you can make an argument he might be our captain one day. Like, he's the real deal.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to predict what Steve Yzerman does. I mean, he could take one of those 3 that I just mentioned, Raymond, Rossi, or Perfetti. Maybe he goes with a complete wild card. Maybe he takes that top goaltender that everyone likes.
No, I mean, is there any specific position that they need to draft, wing, defensive?
No, they need to go best player available.
Player?
That's what Steve Yzerman said. They need to go best player available. In the NHL draft, it's not like the NFL where you're targeting specific positions.
But if a position's that bad in hockey, I would assume they would need to address it. But
yeah, but
I just wasn't sure.
No. So. In hockey, it's more best player available because it's also like baseball in a sense where you draft them, they don't come up right away.
Yeah, you have an unlimited number of positions to fill basically every season.
They usually spend the year in the AHL, or maybe they go overseas or something and play, in like wherever country, like Sweden or Germany or whatever. But if you're asking me to pick right now who I would take at number 4 if I was Steve Yzerman,
if you are Stevie Y,
I think I'd take Lucas Raymond.
Yeah.
I think he's got the most offensive upside of the 3 guys that I mentioned. Raymond, Rossi, Perfetti. I think he's got the most offensive upside.
Okay.
But he is a winger, though.
All right.
He is a winger, though. And the Wings, obviously, they do need more center depth and defensive depth. But
like you said,
best player available, and I think it's Raymond.
Okay.
But that's nothing against the other 2 either. If the Wings took one of Raymond, Rossi, or Perfetti, I'd be very happy. Rossi lit up the OHL last year. Very, very good. And then Cole Perfetti, there's a lot of familiarity between him and the Wings because he played at the Saginaw OHL team.
Okay.
And part of the ownership for the OHL, that Saginaw team, is Chris Draper, I believe. So the Wings know Cole Perfetti, and that's why a lot of people have him mocked to the Wings at 4. So
I mean, it does sound pretty destined for that to happen. I mean,
it makes sense.
It makes a lot of sense.
It makes a lot of sense, especially in the middle of a pandemic when you might not be able to get in closer contact.
Get traveling.
Yeah. If you're not able to see these guys enough, like maybe they do say, we know him more. So, again,
it's a crapshoot.
I don't know what the Wings are going to do tomorrow night, but regardless of what they do, I'm going to trust Stevie Y here because again, Mo Sider.
Give me a toilet flush.
That's not very nice for the Red Wings.
No, that's the sound of your projections for what the Wings are actually going to do.
Yeah, they're probably going to take that goalie that everyone likes. Which, if that's what the Wings actually do, that'd be perfect because.
I thought drafting a goalie in the top 5 was like drafting a corner in the top 4.
Unless you're Steve Yzerman, though. Steve Yzerman in Tampa Bay made it so. It was important for him to find a goaltender. You know, he drafted Vasilevsky, who a lot of people kind of questioned the pick, and he's probably the best goaltender in hockey. I mean, he's a Stanley Cup champion now.
Yeah.
So, whatever he does, I'm going to trust him. You know,
Okay.
It's nice having a competent GM in this city.
It is.
When they make any type of move, you can go, I'm just going to trust him.
Yeah, and it's like it's so weird when you have a guy like that because your initial feeling is to just want to like break it apart and like see what could be better.
You have to convince yourself to like a draft pick by most of the GMs in this city.
Yeah,
not Steve Yzerman.
And like I said, it's just so hard to get into that mindset of, oh, this guy does know what he's doing, so you can kind of relax a bit. Because even with Stevie Y, I'm still not in that mindset of he's good. I'm in that mindset of, okay, where did he mess up? What could he have done better? Because all these other GMs in this city are like that. There's always a room for improvement with everything they do.
The GMs in the city suck so bad that sometimes you forget that Stevie Y is a top 5 GM in hockey.
Exactly. They make me think that he's just one of them without even really...
Dude, the GMs in this city are literally Stevie Y, Troy Weaver's...
unknown. I'd say he's still unknown. Even though he has a background in, like, you know, being an assistant GM, he's still not being the top guy.
I was trying to think of what to say for Troy Weaver. I'll say...
TBD.
That's better than I was going to say. I was going to say IDK.
Yeah, TBD.
TBD. So it's Stevie, Troy Weaver's down here. We don't know yet. Al Avila, Bob Quinn.
Wow, you're putting Avila above Quinn. This is that just goes to show you how bad Quinn really has been.
Do you agree or disagree?
Oh, I agree. I just wasn't sure because, like, you know, you have been on Avila's ass for years now.
Well,
and
he's still a terrible GM.
Oh, yeah, but to put Quinn below him now is just goes to show you how bad he's been.
I think it was last week's show I mentioned, in a way, I have a love-hate relationship with Al because I think he's made some very good moves that I've loved, and he's made some moves that I've hated. When I say I have a love-hate relationship with him...
It's like 50-50. He's done good things and bad things.
I'm not saying that I love him. I don't like Al Avila at all. I'm saying I have a love-hate relationship from the moves that he's made. I think he's made some very good moves, and he has made some very bad moves. Bob Quinn, you can argue the same thing. But at the same time...
Yikes.
Like, I don't even know how to describe it. We just did. So...
I think we've just about touched all the bases.
This is a shorter episode this week because we mentioned all hell broke loose before we started, so we had to kind of scramble and record late.
I had a soundbite that says, "Oh, touch them all, that's a walk-off." I had one like that, but it's not loaded up right now. Dude, I was so bummed. That would have been perfect.
Crap. Do you have a good outro, though? I think that's perfect.
No.
Wait, here we go.
Congratulations, you filthy animal.
Who is that?
I run around work and I just record a lot of people's voices.
Am I the only?
Okay.
Hey, say this if I think.
Yeah, that drop will be for Tony winning an actual meaningful fantasy league game.
of these sounds are a lot less lame to me than trust me.
They're all high quality in your ears.
I don't think they're lame at all. They made me crack up.
No, yeah, I enjoy it.
Look at him go, ladies and gentlemen.
I got good ones.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's right up my alley.
Yeah, there you go.
Yay. This was a successful episode of Aggressively Speaking. All right, Troy. Good work this week.
Yes,
John,
sir.
good work as always. Yes, sir.
Except drop the ball on the charger, though.
Well, I came in clutch, though, with my
You did.
charger.
You did.
I just got to make sure Yeah. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And we're ending at an appropriate time for Troy, who works soon.
Actually, we're getting out of here a little early. We're cutting this podcast real short.
Which is good for you because you got to work tonight.
Yeah.
You have time to get ready.
Yeah. Pretty soon, I won't have to worry about that.
Well,
we got a lot of different things to
do you
worry
want to
about.
mention it very quickly?
I mean, yeah, I work a...
Not that it matters.
it doesn't matter for them because, I mean, they'll see it.
Say it.
Say it.
Well, you guys are probably going to be getting this episode a day earlier soon.
Huh?
Wait, what? Nope. not gonna happen.
Let me hear that one more time.
Yeah, so Troy's getting a new work schedule, so we're gonna have to move our recordings to Sunday nights.
Yeah.
So you may
Sunday night football.
The Lions don't have any Sunday night games anyway, so it's fine.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
So you might get this episode Mondays or Tuesdays now, which is sweet.
Yeah, you're gonna get our fresh hot takes of the Lions,
Hot and juicy.
hot right off the grill.
Play us off with a Stephen A. clip, one of your choosing. We didn't. Oh yeah, we didn't play one yet, so pick one of your choosing. Meanwhile, John, just spam.
Jesus, you just put your hand down on the whole thing.
Yes. All right, Troy, impress me with this Stephen A. clip.
Yeah, I made this chaotic one a long time ago.
Oh man.
Jesus. All right, I got one.
All right.
I'm a booty legged hitman to the core.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Aggressive Speaking. For Troy, Frank, and John, my name's Tony Dabrowski. We'll see you guys next week. Go Lions, baby. It's a bye week next week, actually.
Oh, yes. Finally, my brain gets a relaxation moment.
Next week's going to be a more fun episode. We can sit back and relax.
We can go through some of our random topics that we can do. That'll be fun.
Next week's episode's going to be fun. Video games.
Oh, shit. Maybe.
Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.